Kicking a door open's really easy. Cliché. Villain or hero will shoot someone and not check to see if they're dead. Cliché. Or they won't shoot enough bullets to make sure that they are dead. Another cliché that I noticed was actually while watching the following, and you see this in other stuff too, but I noticed that today, and it's if you have a TV on, the news or something, and it's talking about a story, and then you have the characters talking for like 6 or 7 minutes, and then you go back to the story, and all of a sudden the news is on the exact same story, and it's not in mid-sentence at all, it's on perfect cue. That's so unrealistic. I mean, just, for example, if it's an armed robbery or something, okay, and today we had the armed robbery, blah 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 blah, turn the TV off. Then the characters have their dialogue, whatever, and then, oh yeah, see? Turn on the TV, and just as a recap, blah 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 blah, the armed truck, yeah. And that just doesn't really happen. Unless you have freaking DVR, it is hard to go back to a news story. I know, because my grandma has cable, and if I go to a news story, it's gone. The news is fast. The news is really fast. They'll go from story to story to story to story in blink and eye. Usually depressing, for that matter. One that I really like, and I'm probably copying from Cinema Sins, by the way, you should check them out if you don't know what that is, but is that you can pick a lock with anything straight and metal. It's a lot harder to pick a lock than movies should make it out to be. I guess they don't want you to know how to really pick a lock, but you can't use something just straight and metal. It has to be something that completely fits through the key and gets the mechanisms and stuff. Just look it up. That's not how you pick a lock at all. It's completely unrealistic. Once again, one more thing that's completely different. It is mainly to shows like Criminal Minds, The Blacklist, whatever kind of shows you want to say, where there's FBI agents. At the end of the show, and all this isn't completely spoiler alert, but at the end of the show you'll have usually the guys in, FBI suits, ready with the guns, and everyone has a helmet but the lead actors. Now think about this. Every other SWAT team, just because they're extras, have helmets on. And they usually have gear on too. They have more gear on. They have like all this gear on that you can see because they don't want to get shot. But if you're an actor, God forbid that we cover your face up and not know who you are. Because, that's completely smart to go into the psycho killer's place with all this SWAT team that have their gear on, but you have nothing. And that's something that really makes me mad about Criminal Minds and The Blacklist, which I really like both shows, but that's something that bothers me about them, because they fell on this sin too. One more thing that I absolutely cannot stand is when someone jumps through glass and isn't affected. If I did have a character have to jump through glass, I would make them have some cuts somewhere. They need cuts. They need it to look realistic. I mean, some movies do this, but most things don't. You jump through glass, it's obvious that they use fake glass in that movie because the character, the actor, whatever, they are completely fine. And you're wondering, I bet I could jump through glass. Also, that's another thing. It's hard to jump through glass. I'll demonstrate now. Another thing. You shoot someone, they might have a bulletproof vest on, whatever. So I'd always aim for the head if I saw their head, because they were stupid enough to not wear SWAT team gear and all that for going in there, because they're the actor. That's really the only reason they do that. And if I shot someone in the chest, I'd probably shoot them multiple times just to make sure that they're dead. I'm just saying. I can rant a little bit on horror movie cliches now. I heard a noise, I have to go check it cliché. If I heard a noise right now, I would stay right here. Mainly because I'm working on a horror show, but I would stay right here. It's creepy.